going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit, episode 34. Paul Pierce, the truth. I'm here with my co-host, UPenn's finest, Danny Cole. We're actually able to record during the day for once. That's why I have to change my brightness a little bit because the lighting's actually pretty good for once. We're not recording this at 10 p.m. Um, Obviously, week 2 of the NFL just wrapped up. My Eagles just got a huge win on Monday Night Football. My guy Jalen Hurts looking like a franchise QB day by day. Steelers, unfortunately, not. But we're holding it down for Pennsylvania. Danny, before we get into our summits plummets, how are you doing?
Honestly, you feel good. You feel good. Week 2 of the NFL wrapped up. The Steelers play tomorrow night, Thursday night. We'll get into that soon. But you like where the Steelers are at. You would have thought that they would have been 1-1, or they would have beat the Patriots and lost to the Bengals, but it's fine. I think they're in a good spot.
Yeah, I mean, week 2 tells you a lot about a football team, honestly. Like, it is early, but, upsets happen week 1. Week 1 is the biggest overreaction of all time. And then week 2 kind of puts people into reality. Now, obviously, it takes a little longer to find out what a team really is, but, sometimes 2 weeks is all you really need to know. Like the Philadelphia Eagles, they're 2-0. That's kind of like an example of the rest of the year that they're just not going to lose. However, going on to summits and plummets, I'm going to take my plummet first, and that is my mic stand. This thing's broken. It don't stand. It won't keep my mic straight, so I'm holding it for today. But the real summit, or my real plummet, is actually the Phillies. September scaries once again. They're dropping games, and I'm hoping it's not enough to drop out of the playoff race, but worse has happened. We could always be the Red Sox, so it's okay.
Yeah, my summit is going to be the state of Pennsylvania. Actually, I'm kidding. My summit is going to be Aaron Judge. As a Red Sox fan, it's hard to say. Man hit 60 home runs, and as a Yankee, the last person to do that was Babe Ruth. It's historical. Will he hit 70, 10 home runs in the next 20 days? Probably not. Will he hit 65? Maybe.
I mean, I would put nothing past the man, but I would bet he wouldn't get there. But I mean, it's okay. Future Red Sox, so it's all good.
Future Red
Just
Sox.
future Red Sox, future Celtic too. So, I just keep it rolling. Give us your plummet, give us your plummet while you're at it.
While we're at it, there's a lot of teams, things that could be plummets around.
Like the
Honestly,
Steelers.
my plummet is, and we'll talk about this more later, is the Vegas Raiders. I was never big on them when we predicting records. I told you this a while back. I think the Raiders going to finish last in the division. I'm just not a big fan of them. They got they got a good team. They remind me of how the Cowboys used to be. They have all these weapons, but the team's just not going to do anything.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, I'm actually a little higher on the Raiders than I am of the Broncos right now. I mean, they simply lost 2 close games to 2 very good quarterbacks.
I think they both
But you
stink.
but
I
you
think
have to
they both
close.
are very, very bad.
I don't think the Raiders are bad whatsoever. You lose by 4 points to Justin Herbert and the Chargers on the road, practically a home game. But you lose by 4 points. All right, whatever. And then I mean, you allow a massive comeback to the struggling Cardinals. It's bad looks, but I just think the Broncos look a lot worse, and they're my plummet, which this perfectly goes hand in hand. They not like sure you're 1-1. You barely beat the Texans and you lost to Seattle. Like, sure, you had many cases to beat Seattle, but 9 out of 10 times you should win, and you lost, that one time out of 10. That's unacceptable. Along with barely beating the Texans, like you are a lot closer to the back half of the league than you are to these contending teams. Like maybe you're in that 16-15 range right now. They're no top 10 team of mine. They're definitely not looking like a playoff team like I thought they were. And Russell Wilson
I'll
is a
tell you
huge
this.
cornball.
I think the Steelers are much better than the Broncos at this point, even without
That's not
TJ
hot.
Watt.
I don't think that's hot at all. I think Pittsburgh
Even
has a
without TJ
phenomenal. I
Watt.
think they have a phenomenal defense. All the weapons are being used. I see a lot of Steelers fans are like really low on Trubisky right now. It's like he's not like taking the plays. Like he's more worried about not turning the ball over than making actual plays. I mean, it's 2 weeks. Now, if you're pulling the plug on him because you guys are that interested in Kenny Pickett, by all means, you use the first round pick on him. I think you should use him up. But I mean, if you really want to see what you got in Trubisky, I mean, just wait it out a little bit. I mean, you played
Here's
Bill
what I'll tell you:
Belichick.
if we lose to the Browns, I think Pickett's in.
Yeah, with all due respect, I need Jacoby Brissett to go off on you guys. I either start him or Wentz at my super flex. I can't start Wentz, not this week. Can't do it. Uh,
But
I
to
yeah,
be fair, here's what I'll say: the Steelers, they're in a really weird situation because I don't think Trubisky's actually playing that bad. He had a bad pick, but I think who's playing bad is the offensive coordinator. He is horrible.
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
He needs to be. I said this last year. That motion crap. It's a great when it's used right, but they just send Claypool in motion for whatever reason. They don't even do anything for like to take advantage of anything. They just do
Yeah,
it to do it.
eventually you got to run some play action with it. Eventually you have to actually use the jet. You got to use the jet into the flats, jets into a route. But and you can't use it all the time. I mean, it's smoke and mirrors, and like nobody's falling for that high school level offense. Shout out Coach Bryce. Anyway,
Wait and
uh,
see.
now going to get into the best 0-2 teams. Now, obviously, we just mentioned one, which was the Raiders. Um, I think the Raiders, out of all the 0-2 teams, I truly think the Raiders have the best chance to turn around. I'm not a big fan of the Raiders. Like, I don't see them really winning a playoff game. But if anybody's 0-2 can try to sneak into like the 6th or 7th slot of the playoff race, I think it's them. You have Devontae Adams. You have a top 15 quarterback in Derek Carr. And you just simply didn't close out 2 games. I think you're in a really good spot. The schedule obviously doesn't get any easier. You still got to go to play Chargers again, Chiefs twice, Broncos twice. It is tough, but if I wanted to be on any of these 0-2 teams, I'd want to be in Las Vegas right now.
So I'm gonna disagree with you. I don't like
By all
Vegas.
means,
I think Vegas is gonna get like 8 or 9 wins,
9 wins
which
could
is just
could potentially cut it. I'm not sure,
it could. But
but
I
now
don't
go
think they
ahead.
make the playoffs. My teams that I'm looking at right now that could turn it around are the team that went to the Super Bowl, the Bengals. What they're struggling right now with is Jamar Chase is getting bracketed by a safety, and Joe Burrow doesn't know what the hell to do.
I mean, I think Burrow and Chase are the least of their worries. Now, mind you, sacks can be like a way to show an offensive line is simply playing bad. That's true. And it sucks. You put money into this, like you put a lot of time into investing into this line, and it's just not performing. But what do you do at this point? You kind of just got to roll with the punches. Burrow has to get the ball out faster. You have to design better plays to get the ball out of Burrow's hands fast. And it's not helping because Zach Taylor is one of the most bland coaches in football, and he's just simply lucky he has one of the most explosive quarterback wide receiver duos. I do like that pick a lot. The only reason is that I didn't pick them. Um, the the pass rushing, like the pass blocking is like horrendous. Like
Here's what
it
I'm
might
actually gonna
even
tell
be.
you.
I think it might be worse than last year.
Here's what I'll tell you. I don't actually hate the Bengals pass blocking. I hate how long Joe Burrow takes to throw the ball.
That's fine. I think there's two sides of it. I think there is
Here,
two sides of it.
people hate Carson Wentz for taking forever to throw the ball, but don't hate Joe Burrow. Blows my mind.
Joe Burrow. Here's the one difference about them. Joe Burrow actually has a pocket presence,
He does. He
and
does.
and he steps up when he can. He tries to escape when he can, but that line is like truly bad. Wentz, on the other
Yeah. The
hand,
line is
Wentz
bad.
acts like nothing's going on around him, and that's
Yeah,
so unfair. He's
that's
like
fair.
6'5". You can see everything, and he just acts like nothing's happening. But I do see the
That's
point. Both
fair.
hold
Yeah,
on to the
but like
ball a little longer, but they do a little different why they're holding on to the ball long, which leads to sacks, strip sacks, interceptions, turnovers. I think the Bengals are a great pick. Um, I
here's what
do
I'll tell
see it.
you.
I think they can still make the playoffs. Uh, I don't know.
A
We just
team
got to
that
draw up
had the
some better
worst
plays. Get the.
a team that had the worst O line last year that has really turned it around. Chicago Bears. Justin Fields has had the best average time to throw in the league so far, which is really surprising. You don't expect
I
the
agree.
Bears O line to turn it around.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we would be talking about the Bears a lot if we were talking about 1-1 teams, but there's kind of a lot of those, and that'd be a lot to bounce
Yeah,
around. Uh, I do like what I've seen from Field. Not really much in the Packers game. I think he was robbed of a touchdown, but regardless, um, yeah, I think comfortably Bengals Raiders would be my top two 0-2 teams. One team that I just really do not see bouncing back are the Tennessee
Titans.
Titans.
No.
Don't see it. If Derrick Henry, if they can't block for Derrick Henry, they can't get him to the second level. Ryan Tannehill's not beating you with his arm. We've known this for
Here's what I'll
years.
tell you. It's not that they can't block for Derrick Henry. It's that the defense knows that's all they're doing. They're
Yeah, I
running
mean you
screen and trying to run in a box, and I'm gonna stack 8 in the box. And as good as Derrick Henry can
stacking the
be,
box.
I don't
Yeah,
care
he
how
can't
good
beat
Derrick
that
Henry
many
can be.
guys.
You can't beat that.
You can't beat that many guys regardless how good you are. And
And
that's like
aging. He's aging.
it's un,
He's
it's
slow. He's so
unfortunate.
slow.
Yeah, and he is aging. I mean, but you could slap down Barry Sanders in that backfield if they're stacking like 8 people in the box. You're kind of screwed.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
oh no, maybe Barry. I don't know, but
You might shake a
yeah,
few.
the Titans. I mean, you lose to the Giants, who we're gonna get to 2-0 teams later. You lose to the Giants, and you get absolutely embarrassed by the Buffalo Bills. Now they won't be alone in that. A lot of teams are going to get embarrassed by the Buffalo Bills. Okay, but it was just really poor performance by that offense. The defense has zero answer for Stephon Diggs, not one. Even with Gabe Davis out, you're like, okay, maybe we can show a little attention to Stephon Diggs, and you don't. The man catches 3 touchdowns on you. By the way, let me know if this is a hot take or not. Here's my MVP race, right as we stand right now. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Stephon Diggs is my third. I think he's bowling absolutely out of his mind. And if he's not in that MVP race, he is by far Offensive Player of the Year leader right now.
Nah, I think Kyler's over him right now.
In terms of MVP race, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put Kyler over a 2-0 quarterback like like that guy. I'd
Oh
personally
no.
have him over Kyler.
Well, personally, I think Jalen Hurts is top 10 in rushing and top 10 in passing. So
He's playing out
he's
of
got
his
to.
mind right now. He's
And
ridiculous.
honestly, I was big on Hurts. You're big on Hurts, but I don't never really understood why a lot of people were down on Hurts in the offseason. I might sound like, oh, you just saying this because he played well the first 2 weeks. No, I really don't think that. We have evidence, proof that we thought Jalen Hurts was gonna have a big breakout year. It might have been a joke when people were like, "Oh, Jalen Hurts for MVP." No, he legitimately could go for MVP, and I was talking about that back in the summer that he could have that Lamar Jackson breakout season, that
It's
MVP defining season.
yeah, and I mean they surrounded him with the talent, like build to his strengths, and let's work on being a pocket passer while we're developing our team overall. Don't halt everything by getting a new quarterback. You have a talented quarterback, lots of potential. Um, I think he's playing absolutely great. I did understand the doubts. I mean, his pocket presence was a little iffy, accuracy issues. The arm to me was never in question. I think he is a rocket of an arm. He gets the ball out there as proven. 53-yard touchdown. Quez Watkins. He had a 50-yard pass to AJ Brown week 1. And that's exactly why the Eagles are not the worst 2-0 team. I think they're one of the three best 2-0 teams. Right up there with
Here's what I'll tell you:
Bills
the
and Bucks,
Chiefs
or Bills and
and
Chiefs.
Bills, Chiefs, Bills, Eagles, Bucks.
Those are the four best teams in football right now.
Here's what I'll tell you: the Bucks had really iffy wins. Um,
One thing inspiring from their wins, though, I mean, their defense played absolutely amazing in both of these games.
and I told you,
The offense is iffy,
it's
but
about the health of Devin White. Devin White is healthy.
yeah, and he had his stuff to say after beating Jameis Winston and the Saints. But moving on to some actual 2-0 teams, we got the Bills, Chiefs, Eagles, Dolphins, Giants. Am I missing anyone?
Eagles.
I just said the Eagles. Bills, Bucks, Chiefs, Eagles, Giants, Dolphins. That's 6, right? There's only 6 left.
It's only 6. Uh-huh.
I mean, worst 2-0 team. Oh, I mean, you got to simply say the Giants right now. I'm not too like displeased with them. I think their defense is like awesome. Like I actually think their defense is awesome, and they're gonna like hang around. They could end up getting this team like maybe 7 to 8 wins. I definitely did not expect that,
I
but
think the Giants could be better than the Cowboys this year.
I think it's possible. But I'm actually very high on the Cowboys because that pass rush is like unreal. And Micah Parsons is literally my lead for defensive player of the year up there
He was
with
my.
Minka.
I told you he was my pick for defensive player of the
Minka,
year.
I mean, I picked Aaron Donald. It's not looking too well. I thought he was going to, go out road to glory type of thing. Um, if I do get a act of forgiveness, I'm going to take it foolishly and say it's going to be Darius Slay because he already has 2 interceptions. But um, the Giants, I'm not saying this in like bad faith, but their offense simply does not have any answers. They can't get the best. They can't get their most talented receiver the ball correctly. Obviously, Tony has drop issues as well. Um, and Daniel Jones is so bad. He is so
Someone put a fake
freaking
tweet out
bad.
there. They said Odell Beckham said he will return to the Giants if they get a new quarterback, and Odell subtweeted and was like, "He's like, who comes up with these stories?"
He knows it's true. He knows it's true.
You get him, Bryce
Uh,
Young, in New York,
I
he's right
mean
back.
that'd be a good get, or they could go for. They were rumored to get Haskins around that draft. They could go for another Ohio State quarterback, C.J. Stroud, if they don't get the pick correctly. Um, of the other 2-0 teams, I really do like them all. I think 4 of them, 3 of them, yeah, 4 of them are the best in football. Really expected. The Dolphins pulled out an absolute shocker. I don't want to say this in bad faith. I
He
think
lost
they,
his lock.
they destroyed my lock. I texted, they're up 35 to 14. Lamar Jackson just had an 83-yard touchdown run, something like that. I'm like, yo, this game's over. I said Lamar Jackson's top 5. He still is top 5. Maybe. I don't know. But
Smoking on top
but
five.
then Tua, Tyreek Hill, my fantasy wide receiver, Jalen Waddle, absolutely like come back. I mean, Tua Tagovailoa and Jalen Hurts. Danny brought this up. This is all credit to Danny. Both Alabama quarterbacks. Both went off in week 2 to prove their haters wrong. Danny said, what if they meet in the Super Bowl? Playing the guy who took your spot a couple years ago, both of these quarterbacks defying the odds in the NFL about arm strength, accuracy, basically saying they could not be a quarterback. I would love for that to happen, but unfortunately, the Eagles will be too busy with the Bills or Chargers. That's a great storyline that
I think they'll be busy with the Steelers. Because
in the wild card,
with
it's
the
going to be Dolphins Steelers.
with Mr. Small Hands,
You think Pickett's going to be around by that time?
back-to-back years of small hand quarterbacks in the Super Bowl.
How will they ever survive in this league? Honestly, all the 2-0 teams right now, the Giants will have to do a little more convincing for me, but I think the other 5, I think these are legit teams. Like the Dolphins absolutely proved me wrong. I wasn't a huge Tua guy. He played out of his mind, dude. 6 touchdowns, 400 yards, a 21-point comeback.
Don't overreact. He played well, but I'm not going to overreact. As someone might say, every squirrel gets his nut. Mitch Trubisky threw 6 touchdowns before against the Bucks.
That was the Bucks before Tom Brady. That defense was not good. They were in shootouts every week because of Jameis Winston. No, you don't score 6 touchdowns on accident against the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh no,
I think
Tua
Tua
played
played phenomenal.
well. I think Mike McDaniels is the reason Tua got better.
Absolutely, and guys like Tyreek Hill, AJ Brown, Stephon Diggs are living proof that if you get a young wide receiver or a young quarterback, a wide receiver 1 early in his career, you'll see the development faster. That's what's going to hurt guys. Maybe Zach Wilson. I mean, Garrett Wilson's playing amazing, but maybe Zach Wilson might be hurt by this. Justin Fields is going to be like destroyed by this because all due respect to Darnell Mooney, no.
Ready? I'm gonna be bold. AJ Brown is the best receiver the Eagles have had in the last 20 years.
He's the best. He's the best receiver we've had since Terrell Owens. I'll say that.
No, I'm gonna say at that point of Terrell Owens' career, I think AJ Brown's gonna be better.
Terrell Owens would have won Super Bowl MVP on a broken foot if McNabb wasn't drinking the night before. So I don't know about that. I think at that point in his career, he was still a very impactful player. Sure he wasn't like his Niner self, but he was like he was that guy still. I mean, not too hot. AJ Brown could truly blossom into a player like that, but it's hard to tell. Basically, if you're 2-0 right now, you're super legit. Unless you're the Giants, you just got to show me a little more. Um,
The
yeah,
Giants
man,
had close wins is the problem. But
they had
let's get on to our picks.
close wins against bad teams. Uh, but yeah, let's get on to the picks. My notebook fell earlier before this started, so give me 1 second. All right. So
Thursday night football.
update on the picks. I'm 16-16. I'm truly neutral. I'm 0-2 on locks. Danny has leaped me. He is 17-15, 2-0 on his locks. Congratulations to Danny. All right, so starting off, we have Steelers Browns. I think I'm going to go Steelers on the road here.
I think the Steelers on the road. I think that Trubisky gets it done. I think it's very, very hard to come up and beat a Mahomes versus Herbert Thursday Night Football showdown with a Trubisky versus Brissett.
I like the Steelers. I mean, I believe Myles Garrett didn't practice today. Jadeveon Clowney was already ruled out. If the Steelers are down at a certain point in this game and the offense is going, I could see Pickett getting in. I think Trubisky just has a short leash at this point after a real ugly loss last week to the Patriots. But yeah, I'm rocking with you on this one. I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I don't think I picked against the Steelers once this year. Went terrible. But we're gonna move on. Bengals Jets. I'm gonna go Bengals, and I'm gonna lock them because they have they cannot lose this game. They can't lose this game, or they're probably
They
not
did
going to
last
the
year.
playoffs.
They lost to Mike White last year.
They were riding the high. That's why they are riding the lowest of lows. I'm gonna lock them though. They have no choice. They either get my lock right this goddamn week, or they're not going to the goddamn playoffs. They better figure it the fuck out.
Yeah. I'll take the Bengals. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think the Jets are legit. Like I told you, I think the Jets get back to our playoff spot the same way that I think the Lions get back to our playoff spot.
Super gutty win by the Jets.
Well, I think the Jets are a lot better than people think. Garrett Wilson is elite. Like I said, I think he's one of the best receivers in the draft. It's exciting watching Garrett Wilson play.
Moving on to a pair of 2-0 teams, we got Bills Dolphins. The Bills are about to send them so deep into the ground. They are about to bring these Dolphins fans from Jupiter back down to Earth. I'm going with the Bills.
Right. Every year, there's always like a Josh Allen, what the hell are you doing game is this game.
I don't know why you would pick this game of all things, but have at it.
I think it's a shootout. I think Josh Allen decides to play weird. I think he's going to get some Miami flu or something like that.
No.
You're going to get club fever.
You're picking Josh Allen to lose a shootout to someone not named Patrick Mahomes.
No, I'm picking Tyreek Hill to run by the Bills defense the way he did in the playoffs.
All right. I might as well write you in for an L now. Can I double lock? I wish I could. Moving on to Tyreek Hill's former team, the 2-0 Chiefs face the 0-1-1 Colts.
Yeah, pack it up, Colts. Get out of here.
Yeah, that's the Colts have looked horrible. They've looked like one of the worst. They look like the worst team in football.
Sam Ellinger, get in there because Matt Ryan sucks.
Nick Foles, get in there. Someone get in there, please. Like that team.
Sam Ellinger looked really good. He looked really good during preseason.
Yeah, I mean, anyone at this point. Matt Ryan looks bad. I thought Matt Ryan would look bad coming into this year. I was never really big on him. Moving on, we have the 1-1 Lions versus the 1-1 Vikings. The two of Jalen Hurts' victims are meeting up. I don't know who I want to go with. I don't know.
Taking the Lions.
For the sake of disagreement, I'm going to go with the Vikings. I think they'll have a bounce back week. I do think the Lions can provide pressure to get onto Kirk like the Eagles did, but consecutive weeks of Justin Jefferson having less than 50 yards is no.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Wow, Jeff Okudah though. Jeff Okudah has been playing very, very well this year so far. I think he's been phenomenal.
Here's what I'll tell you: the Lions. Aiden Hutchinson is a dog. Um,
Oh,
I think
three
the Lions
sacks.
have. I think the Lions have a top five O line. They have a top five run game. They have a
Their run game's elite. It is elite. It's
their
for real.
receiving core and their group is really good, and they're going to be getting a very good wide receiver back around week 8.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're balling. They're playing really good. But I think Justin Jefferson's gonna bounce back for this team. Kirk Cousins, it's not at night, so I think I can pick him pretty comfortably. But it wouldn't shock me at all if the Lions pull out this win. Next, we have a pair of donut makers. The 0-2 Raiders against the 0-2 Titans. I'm taking the Raiders pretty easily here.
Yeah, I'm going to take the
I
Raiders. I think the Titans blow.
They do blow. You know ball on that one for sure. Uh, and I think the Raiders are hungry for a win. Again, they have to win this week, or you're not going to make the playoffs. And that goes for either of these teams. I don't think the Titans going to make it anyway. But um, if one of these teams want to make the playoffs, you got to win this week. It'd be funny if they tied. That'd actually be really funny. But that's what we're rocking with.
Yeah.
Next, we
I
got
don't know.
the one
Ravens
and one.
Patriots.
We got Ravens Patriots. I feel like you're going to say. I'll let you go first on this one. Go ahead.
Historically, Bill Belichick has struggled against the running quarterback, and he continues to here. The Ravens will get it done. He can't scheme up against the running quarterback. I think the Ravens bounce back and just absolutely destroy the
Yeah, I mean,
Patriots.
unless Nelson Aguilar has one of the performances he did last week, I can't really see the Ravens losing this one. Lamar Jackson,
I don't think
if
Nelson
he
Aguilar knew he caught the ball on that.
probably not that was some magician work by him. I haven't seen him like catch one like that since like week 14, week 15 against the Giants in Nick Foles' Super Bowl season. Um, yeah, but again, I mean, if Lamar and the Ravens won that Dolphins game, we're looking at Lamar's probably like the runner up for MVP right now. Like they simply just the defense blew the game for him. Strong bounce back game against Bill Belichick, get him right back in the conversation. Now we're moving on to the 1-1 New Orleans Saints and the 0-2 Panthers, led by Baker Mayfield. The Panthers got a little wild card, a little hype when they picked up Baker Mayfield. I'm still not buying it. They want to make it. They're gonna have to win this week. I just don't think they will. I'm gonna go with the Saints and the bruised ribs, Jameis Winston. Are you picking your boy here? You rocking with Mayfield?
Nah, that's not my boy. I'm taking James Winston.
That's crazy. You know that's your boy. I mean, that's my boy too, but man, he is not good at football.
Nah, I like him as a person. I
I
don't like
I
him as
am
a football player.
I am impressed with JC Horn's play so far though, but that's not going to be enough because you got to cover MT, Jarvis, Olave. You got to cover a lot of guys. Moving on, we have the 1-1 Texans, who have been shown some fight so far, but not really that good, versus the 1-1 Bears, who lost to the Packers on Sunday Night Football because Aaron Rodgers owns them, like Danny said last week. I very stupidly picked the Bears because I was riding my Justin Fields hype when I knew they wouldn't win, but I picked them anyway because I had faith in the guy. Were we rocking Texans or Bears?
I'm going Bears.
Valid, valid. I'm gonna go with the
I think
Bears
the
as
Bears
well.
get the 2-1. And you know what that does? That puts them in second or third place in the NFC North.
Yeah, they just gotta take it week by week. I mean, they could be very competitive in this division. It's no one's to wrap up. As the Packers have looked so far, it's nobody's to wrap up. They didn't
Here's the
even.
thing. I can't pick the Bears to win unless they're playing like a bottom 5 team in the NFL. But damn, they're gonna be like the Lions last year. Every game's gonna be within like
I know
really good
every
game.
every fight, every fight's gonna be a dog fight, man. Moving on to, I think this is a very underrated matchup this week. We have the 1-1 Jaguars coming off a shutout to the Colts versus
Wait,
the
wait, wait,
loss.
wait, wait. Did we talk about Eagles Commanders?
That's not till later. I got them in order.
Oh, that's cool. Because the Jaguars play at 4.
Oh, you know what? When I'm reading it off Bleacher Report, the Eagles are my favorite team, so they're near the top. I'll just slot them in at the bottom. No biggie.
That's
We
cool.
can talk about them right now. Commanders versus the Eagles at Lincoln Financial. The Commanders are coming off, and I think a very deceiving loss. I mean, Wentz put up some good stats when they were down 20 plus. You know how that goes. I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I think they stay hot. I think they take care of Carson. Um, I don't think it's at the link. I might have been wrong about that, but
It's not at the
they take.
link.
Yeah,
It's
I
in
figured it.
Washington.
Yeah, because it would have been a bigger headline. I'm sorry about that. They take care of the Eagles. Take care of business. Wentz loses against his former team and his former backup slash replacement Jalen
Yeah,
Hurts.
I'm taking the Eagles. I think the Eagles can start realistically 7-0. I said that back when we were making predictions. Um,
It's a very
I
easy
might.
schedule.
I'm looking at tickets for this game, man. I'm
I
looking at
mean,
tickets.
yeah, it's gonna be a good one. It's probably gonna be a sold out crowd. I mean, it's gonna be a loud one. But back to Jacksonville and Los Angeles Chargers. This is going to be great. These are two of my favorite quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence is coming off a great performance, 200 plus yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers, only incompleted five of his passes. Justin Herbert coming off a gutsy performance, fracture. I believe he fractured a rib, or a couple of them, and still hung in there through a touchdown. Nearly had a perfect game if the coaches ended up subbing out Everett. I'm going to go with the Chargers here in a surprisingly close game. I've actually been very pleased with the Jaguars so far. You lose a close one to the Commanders, and you win in a dominant fashion against a team you should dominate. I've been impressed, but I'm going to go with the Chargers. I picked them to win the Super Bowl. There's not a lot of games where I'm going to pick against them.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chargers. I think you hit it on the head. Justin Herbert, if he plays, I'm taking the Chargers if Herbert plays.
I think they're talented enough to win without him. It's going to be a lot of run game, though. The Jacksonville will be able to stuff the box. Um,
I don't think the Chargers win without Herbert. I'm sorry.
I think they do because there's very easy formulas to win with a backup quarterback in the NFL. RPO, run the ball, and the Chargers have an amazing defense with Derwin James, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, uh, especially Bosa and Khalil Mack. I mean, Trevor Lawrence has
But
some of the
you know
best
they can't
pocket
stop
presence.
Christian Kirk.
I could stop Christian Kirk. Anyway, we're
He's
moving
him.
on. We're moving on to probably two of the worst teams in the NFL: Falcons, Seahawks. I'm going to go with the Falcons here simply because I like Drake London. No other reason why. And he's on my fantasy team. I'm going to go with the Falcons to get their first win of the year. And for
You got
you?
Drake London and you got Josh Paris.